Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's very late. I'm standing in the hotel hallway. We just got back from the game. I was here at the game courtesy of Castle Lager, so big shout out to them for getting me here and inviting me for this epic match. Where to start? Sorry, I'm being a bit muted because there's hotel rooms around here. But what an epic game. What an amazing atmosphere. A proper test match. It was almost 80,000 people in the stadium. You could feel the atmosphere. That was tense. It was everything a test match should be. And yes, the Springboks came out on the losing side, and that's unfortunate. And obviously, we'd have loved them to win. But you've got to give Ireland credit. They are the number one side in the world, and they showed it. Number one side in the world, wins games like that. That's what they do. Sometimes you got to win ugly. You got to absorb the pressure, and they did that exceptionally well. They took on the Bok forwards. They stopped them. A lot of the times the Boks, I'll get to them right now. Soon, but a lot of the time the Springboks, were their own worst enemies. But you got to give Ireland credit. They absorbed that pressure. They placed the pressure on the Boks. They made them concede penalties. Crucial times, took their points, were accurate with their kicking, and scored when that mattered. And that's all that really was the difference between the sides. That one break by Bundee Aki that went through past Manie Libbok and ended up in Mac Hansen's try. Good sides, great sides in the world find ways of winning. And so I'm starting off with Ireland just precisely because I'm going to get into some of the Bok issues soon. But this is nothing to reflect on Ireland. They are an exceptional team and they deserve the victory. And I think, sometimes, as a Springbok, you got to realise other teams better than you. And I know there's a lot of people, I've got a lot of comments on Twitter, and I've been obviously travelling around with a bunch of fans, and a lot of them feel the Springboks were better tonight. Well, the scoreboard's the only thing that really counts at the end of the day. If the scoreboard says to you, you're not the better team, that's really where it ends. And so Ireland came into this game, a lot of pressure on them. They had a lot going, a lot of people wanting to see if they were good enough to take on this Bok pack. They did that. I don't think they always came out on top, but on the scoreboard they came out on top, and I think they'll hail this as a magnificent victory for them. Of course, the big question for them is if this is their final or if this is, just another step on the way to World Cup glory. That we'll only know in a couple of weeks' time. But certainly tonight, they are the tournament favourites, and they are a team that you can't look past at this moment. They certainly, they dismantled the bomb squad. The Boks didn't get the momentum they wanted out of it. And at the end of the day, I've seen some comments about the ref Ben O'Keefe. I didn't agree with a couple of his decisions, but I thought overall he had a very solid game. He was very direct. He told the players what he wanted, and from what I could pick up sitting in the stands at least, it looked like he had complete control of the game. There's a couple of those, like I said, that last rolling ball where Ireland sort of smothered the ball right at the end. You could ask, did they come through? Were they swimming? There's a couple of things like that, but that's one decision. The Boks should never have been in that position in the first place. Anyway, enough on Ireland. Well done, guys. Enjoy your victory, and all the Irish fans we met today. You guys were wonderful to watch a game with, and may you have a great World Cup. Hopefully, as all of them said to us, we'll meet you back in the final. So hopefully we get that prediction to come true. Okay, so back to the Boks. Why didn't the Boks win? Well, I think it's pretty simple, to be very honest. If you're playing the number one team in the world, you need to be exceptionally clinical. You need to be on your game, and you need to take the opportunities that come to your way. Any team that leaves 11 goal kicking points on the park is not going to win a game. They're not going to do well. And unfortunately, that's what happened to the Springboks tonight. Now, we can sit around blaming Manie Libbok, and I think we know goal kicking has been an issue for a while, but it wasn't just Manie. Faf missed 2 long-range kicks. They could have decided differently. They could have taken the goal kicking duties away from Manie before this game. But this is a talking point, and I think we have to realize now there's no ways you can hide behind the fact that goal kicking isn't a serious concern at the moment. Now, I know a lot of people say bring in Andre Pollard, he's back in the squad, but I think people forget also Andre Pollard also didn't kick it at 80, 90% at times, and he also wasn't the most successful goal kicker as well. Sorry if you're hearing the noises here, I'm standing next to the lifts at the moment. Anytime now somebody might just walk out here. Anyway, but so you got to look further than just the goal kicking, because that was the one issue, and that's the most obvious issue that was on the evening of the problem. If you don't have a goal kicker, you're not going to win test matches, and you're certainly not going to beat the number one team in the world if you leave 11 points on the park. So, I think there's going to be a lot of talk about that this week. I expect a lot of people to ramp up the calls for Andre Pollard's name. But to be honest, it wasn't just him. Faf's 2 long-range kicks as well could have been over. They were gambles, those 2 kicks. But Marnie did miss some sitters, and it is now a serious concern. The Boks can't just wish it away or dismiss it like they have been doing in press conferences, trying to protect Marnie. Sia came out protecting Marnie, and nobody's blaming Marnie for he doesn't select himself. He is what they have at the moment, and so obviously trying to go through without him. But I think you realised tonight that it caught up to them. It snapped them on their heels, and if you don't have a goal kicker and you get to a quarterfinal, then you're going home. So I think the one good thing about it is this isn't a pool game. The Boks need to accept it and take this on the chin, and I'm sure they will. The management team is pretty good with those type of scenarios, so I expect that they will take this very seriously. But okay, that wasn't the only reason the Boks lost. The Boks gave away a number of penalties. I think there was 7 in the first half. I think in total was 11 or 12. I'll go check the stats. But that's way too many for them. They got beaten at the breakdown. Obviously, whether we like it or not, and it's hard to tell when you're sitting in the stands as well, exactly what happens because you don't have the replays that other people have. But from just sitting in the stands, you got the feeling that Ireland sort of dominated the breakdown battle, and they flooded the breakdown at times. They caused massive problems with the Boks there, and they couldn't get momentum out of that part of the game, and that certainly helped them out. The Boks struggled a lot of times at the breakdown, and they gave away a lot of penalties there as well, and that became an issue later on. Sorry guys, I had to stop there quickly as people walked past. But okay, as I say, the breakdown was the big factor, and discipline was definitely not on for the Boks. And this was really a game where the Boks fluffed chances. They keep on talking all year, and it's been a concern a lot of the time of the amount of chances they create and the amount that they finish. Well, they didn't get that many, and Jacques been saying for a number of times, number of tests this year, that you're only in bigger tests in the World Cup, you're only going to get 4 or 5 opportunities. And tonight they only got 4 or 5 opportunities, and they only took 1 of them. So that's a real concern as well, the finishing. It's been a concern all season, and it's going to be a concern going for the rest of the World Cup unless they sort it out. They definitely have the talent, they definitely create the chances, but they don't seem to finish it off. There's a lot of other things you could say as well. It's easy for the Irish fans to crow, I suppose, that the 7-1 didn't work, but that really wasn't the difference in the teams. I think if you look at the stats, the Boks dominated almost every facet of the stats and had more than enough chances to win that game, but they didn't. So, credit to Ireland. Well done on the win tonight. The Boks will probably feel that if they have another go at them, but saying that, last time in Dublin when they lost, it was because of goal kicking. Tonight it was because of goal kicking as well, and that is a concern. It's a massive concern, but there are other areas of the game they need to get better as well, and there'll be other teams that will be licking their lips. The French, even though they're worried about Antoine Dupont at the moment, there is going to be a lot of focus on the Boks, and the French also have a good pack. They also can take it to the Boks, and they also a team the Boks lost against in Marseille last year. Fair enough, they had a red card, and luckily we didn't see any of those incidents tonight, but that will be a huge game for them as well. So I think unfortunately it's one of those nights you got to say as a Boks supporter, the Irish team won. You got to be magnanimous about it, and you got to say well done guys, number 1 in the world. And it was up to the Boks to take that away from them. They would have been number 1 in the world if they won tonight. They didn't, so back to the drawing board. And I suppose again, what matters what happens later, and we always knew this is going to be a tough pool. This is going to matter what happens later in the World Cup. So that's tonight's not the end of the world, but it is the disappointing defeat, and I think there are issues that need to be addressed, and addressed fairly soon and very seriously. Just the last thing about the experience at Stade de France. What a wonderful stadium, what a wonderful atmosphere. The Irish fans really, they outnumbered the Bok fans, probably about 5-1. It really made it for an interesting atmosphere. Great Bok fans, and it's great seeing a bunch of people. I had a number of people come up to me and say they watch the YouTube channel and they enjoy the stuff. So shout out to you guys over there, whoever the guys I met today. It's great. Thanks for coming to say hello. Stade de France itself, there's a couple of things. Beer ran out for the guys. I didn't get to, at 10 euros a beer, it's quite expensive for South Africans, so we didn't get to actually drink much beer, and with the queues were so long that I think we had a half a beer each in the stands. So those are the type of things that you don't want to have happen. And I think just the fan parks that we were at today were pretty disappointing in terms of just not the fans were there and they wanted to be there. But for instance, we had the fan park this afternoon that only opened at 2 o'clock and the kickoff was 2 o'clock. And we were bunched in with a bunch of Portuguese fans who literally were singing the anthem on the outside of the gates because the security refused to open it up because of, I don't know, bureaucratic bullshit at the end of the day. So, anyway. Saying that, I think that's about it for tonight. It's late. It's after 1 o'clock in the morning. Thanks for watching this channel. Let me know what you thought of the game and what you thought. If you've been to the games in the World Cup, tell me what you think of your experience. And if you haven't already, smash that like button and the subscribe button on this. But thanks guys for watching. And from Paris for a very late evening and a very disappointing Springbok result. And well done again, Ireland. Catch you again soon. Cheers.